Okay. First, before we get started, let me welcome my people. Tim Black's Wolfpack, give it up for our moderator, Buck Bewley, in the house, man. Buck. Buck, baby, don't give up. Buck, baby, don't give up. Buck, baby, don't give up. Buck. Yes, I do. Buck, baby, don't give up. Buck. Go down. Buck, baby, don't give up. Buck. Man, Kyler all crazy. Host all crazy. Look, guys, we need to send some healing energy to Black Mamba. Black Mamba going through it right now, not feeling well. Give us some love to Black Mamba, y'all. All right. Speedy recovery to Black Mamba. Okay, so I'm getting ready for the show. Prep. Find, look, search. I want to shout out to my brother Bill. My brother Bill, the hard way, who sent me some ideas, some typical, some story ideas. So thank you, Bill. He sent one yesterday. He sent another one today, and I'm gonna go with it. It helps. While I'm doing all that, I'm getting all the prep stuff done. I notice I have a community guidelines warning on my account. So I'm like, what I get a community guidelines warning for? You know, these things are bad. What did I say? It said misinformation. I said, wow, what did I do? I click on it. It's dated August 9th, 2024. A short video of 20 seconds. And I said in the title of the video, something about Kamala. And it said, Kamala's campaign may be sunk. Hidden reason why Kamala's campaign may be sunk. And I don't even know what the reason was. I don't know what it was. It was true because her campaign was sunk, right? Wasn't it? Did I lie or something? What's misinforming about Kamala Harris' campaign being sunk? It was sunk. She lost. That makes me a pretty good predictor, doesn't it? Not a peddler of false info. So anyway, I can't even go see what the video is because they deleted it. Nor can I appeal their decision. It's just what it is. Every time I get out, they pull me back in. Nothing to do. So now I gotta be on my P's and Q's for the next 90 days over something I don't even know what they're talking about. I got nowhere to ask questions, and I'm just sitting in limbo, right? And as a brother that's been sitting in limbo way more than any human being should have to put up with the last 6 months, this is not good. This is not good. It's just a reminder, folks, that you don't control your destiny on these platforms. There's no fairness. There's nothing. It's just whatever they say. What can you do, Tim Black? Nothing. You know, back in the day, you could say, well, get your own website. Yeah, nobody goes to people's websites. It just don't. It's not the thing. People don't care about your website. So you can't say that. There's always somebody pulling something out their butt who's in the situation. Well, you can go to your website. Build your own website. What do you need? You don't need to use these tools that billions of people use daily. You could go make your own tool with no real money investment and compete with them. Sit your ass down. Always somebody saying something dumb like that. Why, have you done it? Oh, hell no. I ain't done nothing crazy like that. I just work a job, pick my check up, go home, and fry my fish. drink my wine and mind my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about what you can do. You know, it's what you can do. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But hey, man, we're not gonna let something like my, you know, the future of my business and my financial support and stability of my family, we ain't gonna let nothing like that get in the way of having a good time tonight. We won't let a small thing like paying bills get in the way of us having a good time tonight, man. Come on now. What I look like? A stick in the mud? You know what I'm saying? What I look like? These two shall pass. Any weapon formed against you will not prosper. Jesus said, in Jesus' name, my brother. It's all good though, man. What you gonna do, man? So many bad things have happened in the last year. If this is all I got to deal with, I'm blessed. It is annoying though, man. It's annoying. So what's bad about it? It said appeal rejected in August 9th, 2024. What appeal? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Fam, I don't even. Anyway, moving on. Let's move on. So, if you're new to the channel, I usually don't talk about this type of stuff to start the show. I usually save gripes till later. But we're getting the gripes out the way today. This is Tim Black Show. We cover U.S. politics, breaking news, and black culture. We've been doing that here since 2013, 2014, 2015, something like that. I've been complaining about Democrats for a decade. Someone said, Tim Black. I hate when they compare you to other people. Like you got your ideas from somebody else. Dog, I've been doing this. I've been this for 10 years. What are you talking about? This person last year. Okay. But you know what's true though, guys? Ain't nothing new under the sun. It's all about how you package it, how you serve it up, how you put your spin on it. Because you ain't going to find nothing new. Hey, now, we ain't invent anything. People been complaining about these parties forever. As long as there's been parties, political parties, people been complaining. Malcolm X said everything I say, Malcolm X said the shit 70 years ago. So, I can't even be mad. It's just, when they say it to me, it's like, you do realize ain't nothing new under the sun. So, folks, it's been busy. We got the great Tim Black Wolfpack in the building. Give it up for the Tim Black Wolfpack, man. Those people, man. These are resilient people, man. These people put up with Tim Black. I changed my background about 10 times. Went from fat to skinny to fat, small, kind of fat, to skinny fat to fat, slow. It's everything. I went from old to young, to younger to older, to old man to a great uncle. I don't even know what I am. And there's people that's been riding me the whole way. They got old too. They got old, younger. Some of them catching up to me. Some of them were young when I met them, but they caught up because they, problems. Bills. Bills will make you age quick. That's why y'all young people, some of y'all generation, what y'all call y'all, the generation Y or something, I don't know. They be dodging responsibility. They be dodging responsibility like Neo. They be dodging responsibility, man. Be hiding. You're doing the right thing, though. As long as people will allow it. What do we got here tonight, Johnson? We got the crazy Monday Mayhem on the Tim Black Show. Man, speaking of that, man, we got the, damn. Your weekly headline served at full throttle. Man, man, give it up for that, man. You know what I'm saying? Your brother being all creative and shit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But they're not doing that everywhere. Compare me to people that don't even do shows no more. You know, this person be saying that. When last time they done the show? Oh, they don't do shows. They just pick that money up, though, don't they? Just kidding. None of my business. None of my business. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Yeah, O'Shea, cover your boy. I be saying stuff. I be riding hard, man. I be saying things. I got quotables. That's when you know you made it, man. When O'Shea Duke Jackson covers you. You know what I'm saying? When that brother that covered Corey Holcomb every day. We have been up with the squad, with the Do Better squad on deck. Bye. Yeah, we gonna do what we do. We gonna do what we do, man. I don't know, but I agree with Corey. Corey, my man, with 5150. We out. Do Better squad out. They pay you for that. You didn't do that, but play the video. Be like this. Corey crazy. Hey, y'all, Corey crazy. He crazy. He crazy. He is right, though. Do Better squad out. It'll be just like this. 21st. Yeah. Tim Black said what I do. He said what I do ain't worth money, but this is money, Tim Black. That's what this is. Shout out to everybody out there, man. I'm just having a good time, man. Just reminding people that we got range, we have fun. This ain't all about boring-ass politics. I try to make politics palatable for the masses. You understand what I'm saying? I know how you be feeling. You be like, oh, no, Tim Black. I'd be like, yes. We're gonna run down some content. We've been doing it though, folks. We're getting closer and closer to 200,000 subscribers. And that's when YouTube try to take you out. As soon as you get right there to 200,000 mark, it said, what you doing surviving? Damn, and I did it without a crew behind me. I did it without help. I couldn't go on this show every 2 minutes and have these I wasn't riding those certain waves of doing. Wow, man, it's amazing. I'm almost there. And that's when you get shot in the ass. Denzel Washington training day. Oh, shot me in the ass. That's when they get you. When you're right there, about to, you can see it. You can see the finish line. Man, I hope everybody's ready for a controversial show. This ain't your mother's political show. This is Tim Black Show. This show is brought to you by the Tim Black Legacy mug right here, man. This mug, limited supplies. Get it now, $20 to your door. It's a Tim Black Legacy mug, politics for the people. It's the only politics that matters. Microwave, dishwasher, and hater safe. Get yours today. Go to timblackmug.com. We good? How we doing over there, Buck? We all right, Buck? Let me say something to a couple people, man. I got people, I can see my names again. Tay Diggs up in this mofo. What's up, Tay? Galaxy Ravers? Tay said, I remember when Tim was a progressive and political con. My goodness gracious, Johnson. That's what I'm talking about, man. You know, man, I had to leave him, man. I had to leave them fools alone. I still think everybody deserves health care. I still believe in health care and the wars. I left the name tag stuff, because some people didn't treat me like family, dog. They did not. When it came down to it, Too many of them stabbed me, man. They was in cohorts. Yeah, they wanted to destroy me, man. They worked together, man. I can't work with people like that. How you gonna work with people you don't trust? Informant media is in the building. Who up in here? Chrome is in the house. All Around Entertainment's in the building. Sherry Covington. Jessica May said, they better not mess with you, Tim Black. Well, I'm going to tell them what you said, Jessica. We'll see how much that helps. But they better not mess with me. You right. I ain't going nowhere, sister. I'll find a way. I'll find a way out of a way. I'm one of the people that say, whatever bad happens, you just got to work around it and use it any way you can. Never let what did Steve Bannon say? Was it Steve Bannon? It was somebody that's supposed to be a bad guy. Said never. Oh, Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel said, never miss an opportunity to take advantage of a crisis. That ain't exactly what he said. What's the exact quote? Somebody know the quote. You know the quote, fam. Stop, Tobias, TB, TG, don't mess with me. Most progressives ever been progressive. I'm Jim Clapper. I'm the most progressive that's ever been progressive. I was progressive way before they knew what progressive was. I invented progressivism. That's why I know Joe is progressive. None of his policies are progressive, but he is progressive. He progressive in age, gout, and bad knees. Who's more progressive than Joe Biden? Ebony's in the building. Ebony, how you doing? Ebony. I need to make Ebony a moderator. Ebony, you gonna be a moderator, Ebony? You want to deal with these crazy people all the time with the wrench? You got to get Ebony a wrench. Let me see if I can get her a wrench right here, man. See if we can do that, man. See if I can. See, Buck, I'll be busy, Buck. But like, Tim, we're working on getting a new person in here, Tim Black. So, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Hey, man, Buck's like, I need to get my sleep, Tim. We train for combat here. Getting busy doing work like it's a... And they gracious. Hey, man. Shut up, man, if you give me a strike. Damn. Shut up. Damn. Just open up his rap music. It's just copyright protected. I'm trying to hook up Ebony real quick, man. Damn. Bam. Ebony and Wolfpack Crew. Ebony and her moderator. Ebony and a wrench. Give it up for Ebony, y'all. She is a moderator. Yeah. Ebony has a wrench. She should have a wrench now. She does. Don't worry about it, man. It ain't that complicated. Throw out the trash. Oh, Mrs. Black, throw out the garbage. Take out the garbage. My grandbabies love what I said that when I was a little baby Tim Black. Y'all see my little baby Tim Black video? These people are garbage. I'm my 3-year-old somewhere right now laughing, watching this. Papa say garbage. Okay, man. Look, guys. Renata McCall, 18, the self-care maven. Did I get Galaxy Ravens? I think I did. One more time. Catherine's in the house. Katie's in the house, as well as the Jessica. I got Jessica. I got Sherry. I got correct. Sound like somebody get hit with a bat. Correct. Hit him with the bat of truth, Johnson. Black Rose is in the house. You know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. Okay, look. I want to thank everybody for coming through. I really do. People got mad at me, man. I had to say goodbye. I had to say goodbye. Mickey Brooks says, prayers up for Black Mama. That's a very gracious post. Thank you. Crime says, send her warm, healing, her good energy from his mountain. Crime sends her good energy from his mountain. That's dope. These are the good people. Robert Lynn Schultz. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's get off into some content while we're still young-ish. While we're still youngish. Yeah. We all good? Okay, guys. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Here we go. Look, guys, first thing, before we get started, I got to make this statement for people, though. You got to understand something. A lot of the criticism of Donald Trump is way off base. Yeah, a lot of people are suffering from TDS, man. Basically, what I'm telling you is Donald Trump is an amazing person with high standards. His ethics is unparalleled. He's the epitome of respect, congeniality, professionalism, as he executes his duties as the President of the United States. I have not found anyone more dignified in the position. And to those people that are saying that Donald Trump doesn't respect the office, sit down. You are full of it.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Fragrances are here. They make a great Christmas present. I've named them Fight, Fight, Fight because they represent winning. We all want to be winning. We have to win as a nation. We want to win as a family. This fragrance is all about strength and success and confidence for men and for women. Get yourself a bottle and don't forget to grab one for your loved ones too. They'll thank you and they'll even smell good. Enjoy, have fun, keep on winning, and Merry Christmas.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Woo! Your president's selling cologne, dog. Ah! No! 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 Oh, God. Your president's selling perfume and cologne, dog. Ah! Woo! He don't give a damn. Man. Oh, Scott Jennings. Even Scott Jennings is going to have a hard time defending that shit. Scott's, well, first of all, you don't like commerce? You don't like commerce? What's wrong with commerce? Capitalism is the bane of civilizations. It's part of our every day we do. It's making money. It's nothing wrong with making money. Don't touch me. Get your hands off me. Oh, Scott, defend it, Scott. Earn your money, Scott. Defend this shit. Defend it. Tucker, defend that shit. Stephen A., defend it. Trump, baby, don't give up. Trump, baby, don't give a Trump. Yes, I do. Trump, baby, don't give a Trump. Cold down. Trump, baby, don't give a bump. That's Chuck Brown for my DC heads up in here, man. DMV, stand up. Oh, God. Woo. Woo, the president. What are you going to be doing next? Selling prophylactics? That victory with the victory prophylactic. Take care of business. Protect yourself. I'm a law and order president because I like safety. I also like safety when I'm with a fine man, a fine woman. It's the American way. Not to pay child support. Not to bring unwanted pregnancies. You know what's funny about Trump is he wrote that shit out right after people get through defending him. And Trump's the best, and he's this, and these people are wrong about Trump. He come in butt naked. Well, in a Speedo. He come in a Speedo with a just. He's a dignified president. He come in a clown outfit. Hey, man. Man, see, people who wear Tim Black, don't go Trump. How could I? Do you see this? If I wanted to, I could. What are y'all worried about? You know, I'm a Democratic Party hater, but I ain't crazy. I can see. Ye of little faith. Y'all, I'm a media. I make content. I'm a commentator, right? This is not just activism. Hate to hurt people's feelings. Got to make content. Some content creators we do. You know? But nah, man. Oh, God. All those people out there, all those Republicans, all those MAGA heads, all the MAGA people, the MAGA maniacs, the best thing to do is just say, hey, Trump going Trump. Don't defend it. Don't defend it. Just say, that's him doing him. We don't care. Tell the truth. You don't care. A monuments clause. Yeah, what the hell is that? Why are you concerned with that? Just keep winning. Are we winning? So that's what you got to tell yourself, MAGA. Lie to yourself, Craig. Lie. That's funny. Oh, God. Woo! Okay, you ready? Can we push on now? Point made? All right, let's go. God damn. Next.
For Kamala Harris. Move over, Kamala Harris. A new poll shows there's a new frontrunner for the Democrats' presidential candidate for 2028, and it is not the former vice president herself.
It's got to be Jasmine Crockett, because Jasmine Crockett has been on the front lines, champion for both Kamala and for Joe Biden. She's one of the most outspoken, and you know how much Democrats love black women, right? They're the backbone of the party, right? Who is it?
According to Emerson College, its former transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg. He led the field of Democratic candidates at 16% support. Kamala Harris came in second at 13%. Boy, has she fallen since like December of 2024 when people still knew who she was, technically not. Gavin Newsom in third place with 12%. Both AOC and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro garnered 7% each. Emily, what happened?
Well, I think, look, I'm no Democrat.
I love how you look at me.
Yeah, with respect and love.
Yeah.
So I
You
can.
look like a Democrat, though. That's why everyone's so confused.
I didn't even know what that means.
But I could only say what might have not happened, which is that we know that Kamala Harris has sort of been testing the waters, but an incubation period mixed with her sort of obsession now with running for governor of California means that I think people took her off that national stage. And I think the reality was that she didn't operate outside of the insider circle, which is where those rumors sort of stemmed from, encouraging her to run in California. I think the reality is that she hasn't operated outside of that circle, and that frankly didn't test well. I mean, I think that the biggest message was that the American people did not vote for her, right? They didn't want to see her anywhere near the Oval Office. And I think with Gavin Newsom, when you contrast the amount of noise he's been making, I think that sort of engenders him to the Democratic voters more than her.
Just one more for you, since you've lived there, I think more recently, I know than I have.
No, the professor lives there.
Oh, you live in California right now?
Yeah,
I don't admit it, but I do.
I'm still going to ask you.
Sorry to bust you out.
Do you think that she can win governor of California?
We've talked about that. I think it depends on who's left, frankly. But I think if there is any other candidate that has a high-profile name with any semblance of common sense, the answer is no.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
The California governor gets 4 terms. What number of terms are they up to for Gavin Newsom? I don't know. But guys, that's the question of the day, 4 terms. It looks to me like the Democratic Party is showing you exactly who they support, and who they support is not Kamala Harris. And that's a reflection of the people. The people, one thing America made very clear is that they were not in support of Kamala Harris. What's going to be interesting in 2028, I'm looking at the numbers, man. I'm looking at the exit polls, the numbers of people that came out. Kamala Harris dropped in several categories, one of those being Latino voters. Based on the studies and based on the content we've been putting out here, but the investigating, the research, it looks to me like the Democratic Party is focusing all its attention on LGBTQ and Hispanic voters, both documented and undocumented, as well as immigrants. You add those things together, you get your coalition. Sprinkle in educated professional whites, and I guess maybe you could say educated people with master's degrees, those folks, academia, those types of folks. Then you got yourselves the coalition of the Democratic Party. So black voters find themselves odd man out, as well as working class white folks. And matter of fact, working class everybody, for the most part. There's been a realignment of the parties. It's just some people are very low on the uptake. They haven't figured it out. And look, Kamala Harris, her run signified that. Go back. I've looked at the numbers, man. Were they gaining ground, or with those constituencies that I just mentioned, and where they lost ground is everywhere they used to be. Now, we're going to find out if it was just because it was her, or if it was because the Democrats have moved on. Remember, I'm not talking about independents. I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm talking about people that chose the couch. I'm talking about people that are registered Democrats and how they felt about their party. Democrats want a new leadership. And they see Kamala Harris's old leadership. These are the facts. Now, whether YouTube wants to hit me with a community guideline strike for saying it or not, saying it's misinformation, what other proof do you need except she lost? She lost in 2020, had to drop out even before Iowa, and then she lost in 2024. I'd say that's a pretty good run. That's a pretty good barometer of where the people were at. And when you had $2 billion to play with, I mean, Johnson, that's a lot of dollars to make something happen. At some point, we got to look at the quality of the product and look at the market. Sometimes sometimes it's not the quality of the product. Sometimes just the market doesn't want the product, which is pretty much the same thing. You may think the product's amazing. You might be in love with it. But nobody wants CDs anymore. There's not a real market. There's some collectors out there, but people rather stream now. They're not buying VHS tapes. Yeah, there's a weird guy, a PDF file somewhere with a bunch of VHS tapes, ports, VCRs in his home lobby, his hobby room. Okay, but he is not everyone. He is weird. He can't even go to family functions. They don't invite him. Whenever he comes over there, they're reminding each other, whispering, hey, don't leave him with the kids. Don't do where them kids at. So it doesn't matter what you think about the product. It matters what the community, what the world thinks about your product. That's what marketplace means. And in the marketplace of ideas, Kamala was a bad one. Now, you can shoot the messenger or you can accept reality. It's not that way because I said it. I said it because that's the way it is. To my Democratic Party to get themselves butthurt, they watch the show because they like pain. Listen, man. No, the soup is no good. The soup is no good. The soup is garbage. Okay? Good, this is not good sauce. The sauce is garbage. Who made that potato salad? Black folks, who made the potato salad, man? I mean, I like relish in it, but that's too much relish in the tuna. Who put all that relish in the tuna salad, man? Was that roach feet in my salad? What was that? Peppercorns? What are peppercorns? Grind my pepper. I thought somebody's cavity fell into the tuna salad. Come on, man. Kamala Harris is embarrassed. This is a bad thing for the Democrats, but it's a truth teller. And what I'm saying is, Black America, wake up. Wake all the way up. It is what it is, accept reality. Okay? I got a video out right now. Comedian Tim Dillon put it well. And I gotta agree. I do agree. I've been saying it for years. The Democratic Party has moved on from the black community. I don't know if they were ever with you. They wanted your vote, but they were never really with you. When I say yeah, I mean us. All right, now, so let's keep it moving, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Kamala Harris, I say she's going to fall further than number 2 slot. Number 2, I see her dropping off that list. Yeah, AOC is going to pass her up. AOC, Shapiro, they're both going to pass her up. Was Gretchen Whitmer on that list? I don't even know. Bernie Sanders. And part of it is, like I said, like the lady said, Miss Faulkner said it. Somebody said it. Kamala Harris is really not on the national stage. Here's the deal, guys. Sometimes you can peak too early. And my artists out there know what I'm talking about. You could get an opportunity or a break and be too soon in the game, be too young in the game. You get your break, and now you're introduced to the masses, and you ain't ready yet. But it's too late. You out there now. You're like, I don't know if this opportunity is going to come later. I got to take it while I got it. You run out there, and you can't hold a note. And they boo your ass off the stage. And now you're playing small clubs, hoping that one day you can get back to the mainstream. This is not an episode of Hacks. This is not how it works. Once you get ushered into the main stage, and then you get relegated back to the back rooms, where you got to go back to the chitlin circuit, ow. Nobody wants you there. You lost. You lost rank. Because everybody knows you weren't ready. You failed on the world stage. Nobody wants a runner-up. They want a runner-up. Nobody wants a runner-up. They want an up-and-comer. That's it. They don't want a runner-up. They want an up-and-comer. So sometimes when you don't get the break, it's a good thing. You weren't ready for the break. Right? All right, much love to y'all. Hit the like button on the chart here. Hit the like button, guys, if you're watching. If you're on X, repost this. Let's hope not to get a community strike, because I'm calling it. They're going to say it's disinformation, even if I'm proved right. I'm sorry, man, that burns me up, man. How you going to say somebody giving disinformation when they were right? I put out a book and I said 8 reasons Kamala Harris going to lose the election. And I'm right. And they called it disinformation? They called my video disinformation when I called it? But what about disinformation for everybody to say she was going to win? What about all those assholes that lied and took money out of the black community, out of the black churches? All these people that collected money for them. What about the liars? What about people that lied? No strike for them, right? They good. All right. Y'all see what I'm saying? That's just I hate injustice, man. That's some injustice shit right there, boy. Punish you for being right. And then call it disinformation. Bastards. Gotta take YouTube to court like I took Facebook. And I won, by the way. All right, let's go, guys. Let's keep it moving. You can't fight City Hall. It's going to take a long time. Took 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, get my money out of Facebook. Thieves. All right, let's go, Johnson. Yeah.
It's a 24-hour city. When I go out, I am patronizing my restaurants, my hotels, my dishwashers, my cooks. Then what I do next, I go into the subway system to see if my midnight people are working. I go into my hospitals. I go visit this 24-hour city. This is not a 9-to-5 city. And this is a city that never sleeps, so the mayor should not be taking a nap.
You got a migrant emergency when the city is facing, like the rest of the country, an economic downturn, when you've got a crime issue. Any thought of toning it down?
Well, think about what you just said. You said we have an economic issue. My nightlife is a multi-billion-dollar industry. People are afraid to go back out to restaurants. Now they see the mayor going out saying, come back out to our city. That is what the whole theme is. So you say, okay, Eric, you're taking hits. What is being a mayor of New York without taking hits? You can't wake up and read the papers in a day and say, oh my God, I'm afraid of being criticized. I have 8.8 million people in the city. I have 35 million opinions. That is the city we call New York.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
All the people that are complaining about Mamdani, these are the options. We got a guy like Eric Adams who's bragging about being out 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning at the club. Really? This is from a couple years ago. This is right around the time that we had a lot of murders on the subways. Yeah, somehow his presence didn't stop a woman from getting burnt or a homeless man from being choked to death. Amazing. He took the subway. He couldn't stop anything. Nothing. You didn't prevent anything. But this is Eric Adams. This is the option. This is one of the options. I'm saying, man, New York is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Does anybody believe anything coming out of Eric Adams' mouth? It's actually a positive that I'm out in the streets at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning like I'm 26 with no responsibilities. Though I tell you I'm running your city to the best of my ability. trying to tell you how this makes him more valuable. Hey man, I don't care who the hell you are. I don't care where you come from. Being out, anything to me. If you on the streets past 2, ain't nothing good gonna happen past 2. I don't care. I would say 1. Yeah, I'm gonna move that back. Past 1 a.m., if you out in the streets, I didn't say at somebody's house, y'all had a long thing, y'all did some, whatever, and you had dinner, y'all had a couple drinks, and you're like, I'm gonna stay over here. That's different. If you are literally out at the club at 1 o'clock in the morning, there is nothing positive at the club at 1 o'clock in the morning. Who knows what this guy was doing? We know what people used to do at the clubs at 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, we know what some people do at clubs at 1 o'clock in the morning. Pills, each other. Come on, man. What does he think this is? It's New York. We know what goes on in the after-hour spots. Diddy's guy. I'm just saying, folks, this is not a guy that really is what kind of a arrogant, narcissistic, egomaniac thinks he can make rules that say it's cool. Not only is it acceptable, it's a benefit to the taxpayers that I be out in the streets at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning at the club. That's not, I know it seems reckless and immature, and I'm going through my 3rd or 4th childhood. I enjoyed the childhood joint, but not me. This is what's called marketing the city. Yeah, well, Eric Adams does it. It's called extenuating our businesses. Knowing damn well he going places not spending money. They comping him the whole time. How is this? Or is he, in his mind, he thinks if he goes to a club, he a celebrity? And I mean, other people will come to the club because he was there? Nah, man. If 50 Cent or French Montana or I don't know, Kanye or any of these rappers from New York, Jim Jones, Nas, anybody from New York that's there. They're the draw, not you. Yeah. Drake don't come to the spot because you there. The ladies don't come to the club because, maybe get to meet Eric Adams. That's something you ain't never going to hear unless it's somebody. I can't even imagine a scenario. Maybe somebody you owe money to might say that. Maybe we need to go there. We could meet Eric Adams. That'd be kind of thing. Some protesters might show up. So, because I'm hearing a lot of people talking about Zoran, right? It's Zoran, this guy's crazy, he's loopy, cuckoo puffs, right? And I get why they said it, right? I do. Some things he said, I'm like, look at this guy's track record. Like, what's this guy? Little loopy here. Little crazy. Go to crazy town a little bit on some things. But as always, you got to look at who they running against. That is always the couch. The couch is a leading candidate in any political race. Whenever people are criticizing voters, I always want to remind them, half of America don't vote. So whatever criticism you got, cut it in half off the break. Half of Americans do not vote. They gave up on the system a long time ago, okay? So when you were talking all this, all these people need to stop voting this way. First of all, half the people you're talking to don't even vote. Then America's like 30% Democrat, 30% Republican, and then the rest are independents. That's the country, dog. You know if you actually can to find out this stuff at all. Everybody There are people in all types of buckets. Okay? So when they're talking about Zoran and talking about how crazy he is, they're up against P. Diddy's cousin, Mayor Eric Adams. He's not. That's a joke. It's not disinformation. It's a funny. It wasn't that funny, but it's like his brother, his little brother, P. Diddy. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to re-elect the P. Diddy mayor. They might. They might. All right. It is what it is, guys. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I think it was a horrible explanation for why you be all up at the club all night hanging out like you in your 20s. It's just weird. You know, get home. It's like Shannon Sharp. It's like Wallace is like, look, what are you doing, dummy? He's like, will you listen to yourself? I'm out here raising the profile of New York City. New York City don't need you to raise its profile, to give it exposure. It's the international city, dum-dum. You ain't promoting New York. New York's promoting you. Think the audacity to think that he was doing New York a favor by being in the street. You need to be quiet, go sit over there and just hope nobody do any more research into your funds. Turkish embassy dude. Yeah. All right, let's keep it moving, guys. Next, hit the like button for the algorithm, please. Before we go to that, though, before we go to the next story, do I have the pause for the situation? Yeah, we do. I'll be right back. You know, TimBlackConsulting.com is open. TimBlackConsulting.com is available. If you're interested, if you need a voice, if you need advice, if you want to do what we're doing here today, if you want to be doing it yourself full-time, like I've been doing it myself full-time, going on 12, 13 years now, hit me up. TimBlackConsulting.com is the website. Go check it out. Yeah, Johnson, got to do a little promotion. Give it up for Tim Black trying to promote us. Trying to promote us. Go to TimBlackConsulting.com, Johnson. Well, let's keep it moving. Next story. Wow, fun times.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
You know, progressives have historically had a very complicated relationship with law enforcement and police. You yourself have been very critical of law enforcement. In a social media post from 2020, which has been resurfaced, you referred to the NYPD as, quote, racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety. The current NYPD commissioner, Jessica Tisch, has also criticized the decision to ban NYPD LGBTQ plus members from the Pride Parade today. I think we have that up on the screen. What do you think is the right way for Democrats and progressives to talk about law enforcement, or the right relationship that they should have with law enforcement today?
You know, I've shown over the course of this campaign a clear recognition of the fact that police are critical to creating public safety across the city. And my proposal for the Department of Community Safety is one that was born out of my conversations with rank and file officers who have told me time and again their frustration with signing up to join the police force to tackle serious crimes and then being asked to play the roles of mental health professionals and social workers and fielding 200,000 mental health calls a year. And ultimately, my desire is for the police to be able to focus on those serious crimes, to be able to do their jobs by stopping asking them to respond to nearly nearly every failure of the social safety net. And that's why we have put forward this proposal to create a department that will tackle mental health crises, homelessness, victim services, hate crimes, gun violence, so that police can go back to those 7 major categories of crime we see in CompStat. Because ultimately, New Yorkers deserve to be safe. They deserve a police force that is able to focus on keeping them safe. And what we've seen is that in 2025, in the first quarter, 65% of crimes that were reported are yet to be solved. We need to make it easier for police to focus on solving those crimes. And I've been very clear, we're not defunding the police. We're sustaining the headcount of the police department and allowing them to do their actual jobs.
Next on deck.
Wow, Johnson. Hey, he's not defunding the police. He's sustaining their numbers and allowing them to focus on doing their jobs. Somebody's working the levers. Now, I'm someone who caught a lot of heat back in the day. When I say back in the day, about 4 or 5 years ago, when I said defund the police was not good language. Yeah, I said defund the police was not good language. It should not be called defund the police. If you want to try to shift some of the services to other organizations, if not everything should require a police officer, you got to find a better way to say it. They got mad at me. Yeah, I had people coming at me like, yo, what you talking about, Jim Black? You crazy? You gonna sell it out? You just like, no. I don't think cops should do it. Cops can't be rescuing kittens from trees. That, there are things that other people need to do, right? That somebody showing up with a gun might not be the best scenario. Because when you got a gun, that's all you need. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be, so anyway, the thing is, I noticed that the language has been modulated. He's changing the language here. So he's not talking about taking any resources from the police. He's talking about only like hiring other people to do other things. My thing is, why are so many people framing it like he is talking about taking away police officers? That's crazy. See, I come from a people that can't stand crime. Yeah, we can't stand crime because usually we the victims of it. And it'd be nice not to be. So this idea that black people are cool with crime, no, not at all. But we also understand some people are trying to survive. But when you go as far as hurting other people, if you want to go get your PP loan and then go to jail for it, that's on you. That's crazy. But anything that hurts people, we do not support. I do not support. And the people that I advocate for, the people that watch the Tim Black Show, that support this content, we are not supporters of violence towards other people. So we will not support violent people that are hurting others. But I've been talking about it on this channel, fam. It's in the archives. I had a former Baltimore police officer come on this show, and we did a series of videos talking about all the ways we need to reimagine policing. We need to come up with new ways because what's working is not working. What we have is not working, right? So there's got to be some ways for us to make changes to how policing is done. But to eliminate police, that's crazy talk. I think the majority of Black America was never on board on this. They rather shoot the messenger that said, hey, this is horrible optics. This is horrible branding. You don't want to tell grandmas, grandpas. You don't want to tell single moms. There's no one to call. Don't tell them you're cutting off their access to having someone come help them. Now, we know typically cops come when things are done, and they just write stuff down and they never get back to you. We know that, right? They don't really prevent crime. Unless it's a stolen car or something. They're pulling you over driving while black or something. But typically, cops come after the bad things happen. So, It's a lot here. It's a lot to unpack. I'm not saying that Zoran is a good guy. I'm not saying he has great ideas. I'm saying these are not new ideas that people are upset about. They're going to always reframe it and paint it one way. I also want to point out Zoran is modulating the conversation. They're saying he's crazy, but he ain't talking about defunding. He just said, I'm not talking about defunding. I say keep the numbers just like they are. Add other services. I don't know what he said. He said he gave a number for the number of calls that police officers have to, in New York Police Department, have to respond to that are mental health related. I will say this though, guys. I'm going to leave this to you guys. I'm going to leave it to you folks, Tim Black's Wolfpack. What about the times when you call mental health and the person's like dangerous? Do you want a cop be there then? And sometimes the people need mental health help. We have in mind it's just a person just crying in the corner and they're going through a moment. They got some personal trauma. They reliving trauma, or they're off their medication. But sometimes those people are violent. Sending a psychiatrist to talk to them. Sending Eddie Falco from The Sopranos over to talk to him. I don't know if that's going to do it. Maybe she had a gun with her and some cuffs. Couple other guys with her. I'm just saying, maybe mental health professionals and cops would have to respond. So when you consider the economy of New York, when you consider what kind of budgets they actually do have, they could afford to have more mental health providers. Maybe they could create a new position, people that are cops but also are mental health providers. So they work in conjunction with one another so that cops don't just show up being just a regular cop, got to deal with somebody who's off some type of medication or off their medication or off some type of hallucinogenic. What do we do? I really don't know the answer. I'm serious about that's another point we need to get to. What I don't like is somebody selling people dreams and hopes and saying flowery things, knowing that it's not going to actually work that way. You understand what I'm saying? And then just hoping when a crisis comes, they could pivot or word salad their way out of it. Because the solution to the problems cannot be get rid of cops. It can't be just put mental health providers. It can't be all these other things. It's got to be in conjunction, working together. Because it can go bad real quick. And then what do we have? Yeah, I think citizens can understand some type of hybrid model. A hybrid model where cops don't have to do everything under the sun. I do like one thing, and I end with this, because I can talk all day on this issue. It's an important issue to me, something I've been reporting on for years. When he said, police officers should not be responding to every ill of a society that has not been addressed. Think about that. Police officers should not have to respond to and be able, everything that has gone wrong in society. Whether it be actual crime, whether it be homelessness, whether it be panhandling or I don't know, arguments, traffic violations, anything you could think of that could go bad, that's not any situation, people running out of a bill. I don't know, I saw somebody not paying the 8 and dash. That's annoying. Okay, you got that, and then that all the way up to bank robbery, to cat in the tree, to my wife will open the door and let me in the house, to abuse, spousal abuse, to domestic violence, to child running away, it's like you never know what you're going to get. It's like a big bag. It's crazy. And we haven't even gotten into abusive cops. Haven't even gotten into cops that should not even be on the job. Right? So this is a full-blown conversation. I'm going to leave it there. I'm sure all the people in the Tim Black Wolf Pack got a lot of comments. They got a lot of thoughts about it. I just don't want to roast Zoran out of hand, but I want to say, yeah, it's bigger. And it's, don't just pander to these progressives on these issues, because I don't know. I live in Maryland. I don't live in New York, but I got to imagine people need safety. You say you're serious about safety. We don't think you're just going to put a couple nurses on duty and that's going to do it. Because people need to get to their car at night. All right, let me know what y'all think in the comment section, y'all. Pandering's nice. We don't need symbols, we need solutions. We don't need pandering, we need problem solving, which is going to take guts and new ideas. All right, give it up for that, y'all. Next.
With Tim Black.
Sleep. Thinking about what this is going to mean for hundreds and thousands of my people.
Passionate testimony of Haitian leaders in the South Florida community echoed through the Katz restaurant and bar in North Miami Sunday evening.
I don't want just a regular town hall where everybody's venting. We need a strategy session.
The meeting discussed the Trump administration's decision to terminate temporary protective status for about 500,000 Haitians in the U.S. effective in September.
I don't know if 10 weeks is necessarily a sufficient amount of time for someone to disconnect themselves if they've been in this country 15 years.
Haitians in South Florida expressing how they felt when they heard the news.
I was in tears because I felt so betrayed that they were telling the American people that Haiti is okay, when as an American citizen who is of Haitian descent, I know that it is not safe, that right now in Port-au-Prince there are no flights. Right there, and it's been months since there have not been any flights in Port-au-Prince.
According to the United Nations Human Rights Office, about 2,700 Haitians have been murdered in Haiti within the first 6 months of this year. About 300,000 people of Haitian descent live in the Miami area.
Take your child from all the comforts of America and go back and live in Haiti with me, and where we may or may not have a place that has inside plumbing, for example.
Sunday's public meeting was to give legal advice and options to Haitians living in the Miami area. But many advocates fear those on TPS may have less time than they think.
The administration may not wait until September 2nd to start picking up people who TPS is going to expire. I know people who are already trying to make arrangements to maybe go to Canada or go somewhere else.
The Trump administration has also ended protections for immigrants from countries like Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Okay, folks. Once again, we're in a kind of a pickle here. Yeah, we're kind of in a pickle because on the one hand, I want to say and support the fact that we need America to focus on Americans. And that's not what's been happening up to this point. I'm not saying that. And I know it's a nuanced issue and people want, to voice their opinions, and you can throw a lot of things against the wall. But at the end of the day, that's where my advocacy begins and ends on this issue. But I gotta say, I'm not left with a great feeling, man, knowing that the Trump administration does pretty much target non-Westernized nations when it comes to TPS ending or withdrawals. Listen, guys, it's just what it is. I was just double checking because, once again, we want to make sure we put out the right information. Among TPS designated temporary residents, right? The ones targeted or threatened with termination as of June 1st, TPS is primarily granted to nationals of countries facing extraordinary conditions like armed conflicts, natural disasters, or other crises in other countries currently designated for TPS are mostly in regions like Latin America, Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. So the first thing is, when people say, but Donald Trump has not focused on Western countries. Why is he just kicking out the blacks and the browns and the other folks? Well, as I'm looking through this, I would have to agree with you until I realize, are those countries TPS countries? What Western country other than Ukraine applied for temporary permanent residency or is struggling with armed conflicts, natural disasters, or other crises? You can't say Sweden or Australia. Who? Germany? No. Like what other countries other than Ukraine come to mind? And that's a real question, guys. I'm serious because when I'm hearing the MSNBC types, when I'm hearing liberal sides, and they're criticizing Trump on this, and I'm willing to criticize them too. But if you're talking about withdrawing TPS, who has it? If you don't have it, how he gonna withdraw it? Yeah, I know they're gonna say Tim Black is caping for Trump. What I'm saying is, what majority white countries, other than Ukraine, which is already, he did revoke some of those. What other Western countries are right now using TPS? Now, I know South Africa, we just saw, I don't know, a couple handfuls of those people come over. We talk about 500,000 Haitians, Nigerians, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans. We talk about big numbers, not 50 people or 500, whatever, very small number of South Africans, though I did call it out. I called that out. But this, we talking about a far, far higher number, right? So I cannot come up with any Western countries that are predominantly white countries that are having that TPS status, okay? The TPS terminations on countries have been focused on Haiti, Venezuela, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Sudan, Afghanistan, and Cameroon, with actions affecting approximately 900,000 TPS holders from 17 countries, including significant populations in Haiti, Venezuela. These terminations align with the administration's broader immigration enforcement agenda, citing reasons like high visa overstay rates, inadequate screening, or national security concerns. So I'm not defending it, but what I'm saying is people are saying this is like targeting Haitians. There's Venezuelans getting that axe too. Cameroonians and Sudanese are getting the boot too. It's not what you want it to be, it's what it is. Ukraine is the only predominantly white or Western aligned nation mentioned in recent designations, with TPS granted under the Biden administration due to the ongoing war with Russia. However, there's no specific mention of the provided resources of Trump administration actively threatening to end. So Ukraine is the only westernized nation that I know of, and as of right now, it doesn't look like that. It says the administration has signaled a broader intent to review and potentially revoke Biden-era TPS designations, which could theoretically include Ukraine, but no explicit actions targeting Ukrainians have been detailed. So he hasn't really done that with Ukrainians. He made overtures. He made it seem like he would, but he hasn't. So what's happening right now? We have people focusing, they're looking at Black Americans as if we control any of this, right? And it's like, excuse me, non-Black Americans who are brown skinned. It seems like the whole world is coming at Black Americans saying, won't you help us out? As if we control the levers of power. You're also assuming we want to help you out. Like, you're asking the people on the bottom rung in the country to sacrifice to help you stay, and who does that? Like, who would do that? Right now, Black Americans are 40% of the homeless rate. Not Nicaraguans and Venezuelans. 40% of the homeless rate. 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 40% of the not Sudanese, not Haitians, Black Americans. That's a very distinct group. How can you go to the people that are doing the worst as a group when it comes to economic advancement as a whole, generally speaking? Don't get me wrong, some people are killing it. Some people are doing really, truly well that are Black American. This is not all. But what I'm saying is they're expecting the people that are up against it, whose backs have been up against the wall since we've been in this country, who are fighting for everything we can get out of this country to better the lives of us and our children. And you're looking at us and saying, we got to be your ally. And I hate to say it, but I got to say it seems like when you do get over here, you align with white folks. You know where the power lies. You realize the power lies with white America, and that's what you end up aligning with. So it is what it is. Yes, is this a very touchy situation? When people come to this country because there's famine, or they come to this country because there's a crisis, a natural disaster, or there's a civil unrest going on in their country, which the lady was pointing out in Haiti, that does create a very significant issue that needs to be addressed. I'm not going to deny that. When we talking about just people wanting to make more money so they can send more money home, that's different, okay? And I get why people will be upset about this, why people will be concerned. But that's all I got, man. I mean, we could go on and on and on about it, but it is what it is. The administration, the Trump administration, has revoked temporary status for Venezuelan, Haitians, Afghans, Cameroonians, and has moved to end humanitarian parole programs like the CHNV, the Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela program. And that's what I'm pointing out. Once again, it's as if, man, I don't know, these operators on these timelines, these folks on social media, they focusing on the Haiti thing because they think that's connected more to Black Americans. Where are all the videos to my Latino brothers and sisters who could be connected to Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela? They're getting booted too. Why are we not seeing the same type of pressure applied to Latinos to help their brothers and sisters stay? I mean, those people are from those countries. Get what I'm saying? Like, we're from here. Black Americans are from America. We're getting pressure to help people that aren't from America stay here. But they're not pressuring Cuban Americans, Venezuelan Americans, various people from Latin America who are American citizens to amplify the cause for Cubans under temporary stay, Venezuelans under temporary stay. You understand what I'm saying? That don't make any sense. It's like everybody, it's like we the help. It's like Black America is the help. Everybody goes to help, help, and then we need help. No help, no help, no help. But I don't know if you got the memo. It's 2025, not 1965. Things done changed. Our politics must change. Maybe the next time when I'm up here talking about what Black America needs, you need to be concerned about that. You need to be concerned about the advancement of Black Americans, because if we ain't getting ahead, we ain't helping you get ahead. That's just how it's going to have to go. We're going to have to focus on our situation. Black Americans need help economically in this country. We need advancement economic. We need economic mechanisms that help us raise up our communities, that put our children in a position. We're trying to build generational wealth with our children so they have a better shot at the so-called American dream. Don't start, pump your brakes on our responsibility being beyond that difficult task of making that happen. That we've been fighting that battle for decades upon decades upon decades. Do us a favor. Go talk to some of the Latino Americans whose numbers are getting bigger than Black Americans, who have more access to economics. Economically, they're passing us. That's who you need to be talking to. Go talk to George Lopez and his people. Go talk to John Leguizamo. Go talk to their people. Have them talk to their people about helping their people stay. Because when I'm looking at this list, and when you're saying, hey, it looks like they're focusing on Black people, nah, they're focusing on Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. Now, if the information is inaccurate, it's due to the sources of information that are widely available across the internet. So before you go after Little Tim Black's channel, you got to go after all the news providers that have printed this. And I have 25 sources. One of them is whitehouse.gov, the New York Times, Reuters, Washington Post, and the ACLU. Not to mention Brookings. Those are the sources. All right. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, fam. I'm not dancing on anyone's misgivings, anyone's harsh times, anyone's challenges. Believe me, we know what challenges are. I know what challenges are. I'm not immune to it. I'm very familiar with it. Dealing with it now. Been dealing with it. We get it. Problem is, some of the heat that's coming towards Black Americans, I feel like it's misguided. It's just easier to punch at us. We really wish you want to punch us as white folks. Punch at Trump supporters. Punch at people in his administration. Put your heat where your heat will be most valuable. It seems like you just want to punch down on Black Americans. I'll leave it there. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, fam. Next.
Turn that shit down! It's midnight! I will turn it down. I would love to. You just have to ask me, and I'm being nice even though you're screaming at me. Fuck you! Okay. I'm coming back every night! I'm destroying and wrecking your shit! Turn it down! We the people need sleep!
Okay, now when I first saw this video a couple days ago, I didn't know what this was about. I said, wow, this is crazy, man. Why is this woman yelling this way? What is going on? And who are these people dressed crazily? I see masks. No one's complaining about the mask. What's happening here? And then my friend Bill, the hard way, sent me a link and I was able to read up on it. It turns out in Portland, Oregon, there's a group of Antifa that are protesting a detention center. Yeah. And they're doing so in some very annoying ways for the neighbors that live nearby.
I've been out here 2 days straight protecting your dogs, baby. Where's the ice? What the fuck is this? You heard what I said, bitch! Talking to us calmly would be a hell of a lot better than... Go fuck yourself! You colonialize your fucking ass, bitch! Go fuck yourself, bro. I don't give a fuck. Stick that cane up your ass. Make it. Come on, I'm ready to go. It's the first domino falls, right? Fuck you. You know what happens? Jail. You know what happens when the first domino falls? Down. Don't get Turn it out. I'm telling you to shut the fuck up. Hey, I'm sleeping. Hey guys, let's let another neighbor talk. Let's let another neighbor talk.
And what you're witnessing, folks, are a bunch of courageous Portland Antifa members who are fighting against the detention center because they may have ICE detainees in it. Yeah. The poor Black disabled lady that you saw here is forced to live. She has the unfortunate luck of living near a detention center, an ICE detention center, And now every night, the courageous young woke progressives terrorize the entire neighborhood with noise and prevent her from sleeping. She finally had enough and confronted them, asked them to turn it down. They responded by attacking her apartment building and killing the pets in the building. There's more.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
This is the Federal Protective Service. The facility is closed and not open to the public. Stay in the area of the driveway to allow for vehicular.
That annoying sound that you hear is not coming from the police department or the ICE detention center. It's coming from the protesters. This is their alarm system. And they're calling the guards out to come get some.
Remain on the sidewalk or across the street. Anyone who includes trespassing on federal property is subject to arrest.
The group has created a makeshift LRAD system, blasting it at the ICE office around 1 a.m. Federal police responded so a vehicle could exit. Once again, that sound that you hear is not the ICE detention center, nor the officers. That is the protesters. Imagine living like a block or half a block away from this. Portland police, they said the individual confronted Antifa last night said several other residents also called 911 to complain about the disturbance, calling it terrorism. She believes the National Guard needs to come in to restore lawful order. She also says the terrorists built a weapon, referring to the LRAD, and injured her other residents and community pets.
Up. Oh my Kill yourself!
Next on deck with Tim Black.
This is inside one of the ladies' apartments. I think it was a lady who was complaining that went out there. I think she's filming inside her house, or her apartment, just to give you an idea of the noise.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Next on deck with Tim Black.
That ain't true.
Okay. So the woman that was complaining, I'm sorry, guys. The woman that was complaining, she said that, her pets were hurt, people in the building. She's not the only one. There's others. She just couldn't take it anymore. So that's why she went out, but others have asked them to cut it off. They will not. I want to point out that, when I put out the content the other day when I was pointing out how the Democratic Party doesn't really have time for Black Americans, it's a good point right here. I've done previous videos where it was a Black woman on her way to work and she was like, look, I'm just trying to get to work. I'm sorry. I got a child. I got to get to work. Please let me through. And they laughed at her. And one of the people that was there filming, she said, hey, are you trying to stop a black woman from going to work? They were like, work? Who cares? I'm telling you. I don't know any way to put this any clearer for people. And I know people mean well, they talk stuff, and they be online, and they're detached from reality somewhat. And we're all in certain bubbles. I try my best not to be. I'm as free from bubbles as I've been in my career when it comes to commentating and journalism. I'm as free as I've ever been. Because I now will watch right wing and left wing, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, without judgment. Without judgment. What I've noticed lately, what I've come to accept and realize to be true, they don't care about black Americans at all. And I'm sorry, folks, you just gotta looking at what I've seen. They're at the ICE detention center. You know how many detention centers you could go to and do the same shit? Yeah, like if your concern is there are people in jail unjustly, why would you not be at a regular, like a normal detention center? Why would you need to go to an ICE detention center to complain about people being jailed? Well, we already know almost half the number of incarcerated people are black Americans. The only place you won't find half of incarcerated people being black Americans is ICE detention centers. These people see right through. We see right through them, and the fact is they only care about migrants. That's their focus. That's who their advocacy is for. And look, I got no problem with that. Their focus is that. But let's start admitting that's what it is. The party, the Democratic Party, that's their focus. Antifa, that's their focus. Who can deny that? You go to one place where it's migrant, that's who's there. People that have been picked up for being undocumented. That's who's there. You can go any place and complain about the facilities, people dying in those facilities, all types of horrific things I've covered on this channel about our penal system, our injustice system. The massive amount of people that are in jail who haven't been charged with anything, who are waiting trial, who can't post bail, all types of crazy stuff. American citizens that are actually paying the salaries of the people that locked them up. And you will not find these people out there raising hell about it. But if you go to an ICE detention center, because it's the order of the day, it's the flavor of the month, this is where you're going to find the protests. When was the last time any of these protesters protested outside of a prison where the young black Americans are being detained? The answer is never. I've never seen it. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Show me some links to it. Show me links. Prove it. Prove it. They have been very clear about who they support. And I'm cool with that. But just own it. What I hate is people who throw rocks and hide their hand. I tell you that I'm supporting black Americans and working class folks, whoever that covers. I'm cool with that. My primary objective is to support black Americans, most underserved people in the country. Black Americans. Been that way for a long time. Not a new thing. It's not sexy. I don't have a Cadillac sponsorship or their other, whatever, right? And since I don't play nice with the Democrats, I get all types of strange little problems just doing that little advocacy from here, okay? But what are these people doing? These people are not upfront about what they're about. Not just Antifa. I'm talking about other organizations. I'm talking about the Democratic Party as a whole. They're not being upfront about who they advocate for. I think it's pretty clear, and Black America must recognize. What I'm saying is, if you want to strike, if you want to boycott something, boycott the Democratic Party, Al. Hey, Jamal Bryant, if you want to boycott something, boycott the Democratic Party. They're the ones that we've been giving money to besides you and Al over the last 50, 60 years. Meanwhile, we haven't grown in wealth. We haven't moved forward in home ownership. We're still sitting at the rock bottom and have been surpassed by Latino Americans. No fault of their own. Ain't their fault. They were allowed to come in this country and buy homes faster than us. What they going to do, get up their house to be nice to Tim Black and his friends? No. So, but I'm saying we hold the party accountable. I didn't say hold random Latino people, random Hispanic people accountable. Let's hold the Democratic Party accountable. Yeah, let's boycott the Democratic Party. But see, that would be too honest, too useful an endeavor. That right there is a project none of them would get behind. None of them would get behind that one. Nah, that would not be feasible. No, it would be too effective. The Democratic Party would have to deal with Black America. But as long as we have Al Sharpton, Jamal Bryant, who ain't nothing but an Al Sharpton in training, when we have these types of people running advocacy and people that could capitulate to them, people that want to be under their wing, people that don't want to forge ahead and be bold and courageous and make new ground, who want to just get what they can get and take care of their bills, just call it a day. Fine, I get it. Just don't pretend to be a leader of the working class Black Americans who see through the nonsense. Once again, I got no problems with Antifa supporting. They want to fight for migrants. They want to fight for the undocumented immigrants. That's what they want. That's who they choose to support. I'm saying let's hold the Democratic Party accountable. Let's be clear about who we fight for, what we support. The atrocious conditions of some of these prisons, that ICE detention centers, some of these prisons across this country, my God, we had a person cooked in one in Ohio, literally cooked to death. I could get more graphic, I will not. I didn't see Antifa outside that jail. This is why I was not with that Target boycott. Because I know who we need to go after, but none of them had a stomach to do it because that's where their money comes from. I'm Tim Black. Let me know what y'all think about this segment. All right. Next, hit the like button, guys, as we move on to I think this is our last segment. Let me see where we at here. Yeah.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
That ain't true. That's what you just said. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are up, not down. Inflation is getting worse, not better. Cost of groceries, gas, housing, and yes, eggs. He's letting Elon Musk take a chainsaw, giving him access to Americans' most sensitive data. Your social security numbers, tax returns.
You know, I saw this. I can't believe. What is this? Were they all? Why are they all saying the same thing? Is this real? Is this Memorex? Let me get past it because I don't know if it is or not. Okay, let's go to my primary story for the night, Johnson. Let's do this. Let's get this done. All right, guys. Here we go. This is the signature show for the night. Tim Black's Truth Report coming up now. Updates on Carmelo Anthony, his case, and let's run it.
Tim Black.
The Black Truth Report. The Black Truth Report.
The Black Truth Report. Breaking news on Mr. Carmelo Anthony. Seems like that video footage is circulating now and being released, and it wasn't quite the self-defense that everybody claimed it was. Seems that there was no attack, there was no jumping, there was no anything. Weird. Because see, when that happened, and I made a video about that he shouldn't have been released on bond, as no violent offender should be released on bond. I'll say that again. No violent offender should be released on bond. I don't care if it's part of the justice system or not. I'm saying they shouldn't be released, because why should we put them back out there in the general population? Anyways, when I said that before, I was ripped apart. Ripped apart, shredded apart, threatened. My children were threatened. It was on site for me. If any of y'all catch me out there, on site. Because I said he shouldn't have been released on bond. And yet, the details are coming out. Big shocker there.
Okay, guys. So what I noticed it on TikTok, which is a very censorship-ridden platform that placates to white nationalists and any old goofy old white person that's pissed off. That's been my experience. Very much afraid of any type of conversation that is empowering at all to Black Americans. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just, too amazingly, too strong. I'm so intimidating. There have been a lot of talking points about this recent so-called release of information surrounding Kamala Anthony. And I reported on it before, and people were like, Tim, thank you for doing it. So here we go. We got to take another bite at the apple, because the bogusness of these sellout scumbags, a lot of scumbags on the TikTok, okay? A lot of them lying to people. The footage that was released of the incident that took place at the track meet in Texas, folks, it was unreadable, it was illegible. It wasn't released to the general public. No one commenting on it actually saw it. Of the entities that were giving access to it, who are not right-wing, working for Trump, basically filling information to a Trump audience. They said that the footage was so bad they couldn't even tell who was Carmelo and who was Austin Metcalf. So yes, it's true. It's true that the footage that was released did not exonerate Carmelo Anthony, but it didn't exonerate Austin Metcalf either. Nor did it indict Carmelo or indict Austin Metcalf. Once again, it was CCTV footage from across a field. You could not make out who the people were. You could not determine what movements were happening because it's too bad. The resolution is very bad, and it's unidentifiable who's on the tape. Those are the facts. I know you want it to be there was nothing to see. No, the problem was they couldn't see anything really to make a statement or point to any facts on this. So that's the first thing we got to get to. This all bogus. These are lies. The footage that this woman used earlier and these other people that here that are pretty much basically just trying to get money from the algorithm over on TikTok on this issue. They are following the same script of lies. They don't have any proof of what they're saying. There's nothing that's justified to validate it, to support it. None of that. These are just people looking to make some money. And this guy right here, what's most ironic about him is that he supported Daniel Penny. But for some reason, he doesn't support Carmelo Anthony, which is kind of crazy. He supported Rittenhouse, but doesn't support Carmelo Anthony. These are the people that I look at, and I say, wow, these are too many of these people. Too many of them. Which brings me to my next point. And before I get there, let me back up a little bit here. Let's do this. One of the main things, and one of the new things that we must address right now, folks, we need to look at the fact that Carmelo Anthony's family has asked for a lawyer, a court-appointed lawyer, and they got $1 million, they got $500,000, they got $500,000. think it was 583,000, something like that. They raised a significant amount of money, and now they're saying they need a court-appointed lawyer. This has a number of people, particularly black TikTokers that have white audiences, raising a fit about black people always support the wrong people, and we always ride for the wrong people. We. Okay, so let's address this head on. First of all, there's nothing against the law with getting a court-appointed lawyer. Nothing at all. If you meet the criteria to get appointed lawyer, that'd be a good thing to do. Or maybe not a good thing to do, depending on what your money looks like. But there is criteria you must meet. You don't get one just because you say you want one. If you get a court-appointed lawyer, you met the criteria in order to get one. I would not suggest it would be a good idea to get one, because you get a court-appointed lawyer, I doubt that Carmelo Anthony is going to see the light of day ever. So in America, the way our system works, you get what you pay for. And the best defense you can buy would be a lot better towards you getting the outcome you want in the court system. That's just what it is. Okay, you got some money, you got a shot. You don't have no money, it's looking pretty grim for you. Okay, so that's the first thing. So that's a couple things. One thing is, yes, people are saying, why are they doing this court-appointed lawyer thing? That looks bad. That's only because you don't know what you're looking at. You don't understand how the system works. Number two, it ain't up to them to make that decision. If it's appointed by the state, not the family. Okay. Then to say, and there's also complaints that say, well, they're also raising more money. How dare they raise more money? This made me do some research. Okay, this is what I did. So what I did is I started looking at other cases that are very similar. I want to see how crazy was this? How suspect is it for Kamala Anthony's family to raise over $500,000, call it $600,000? How crazy is that? How bad is that? How out of the norm is that? So I looked at other national high-profile cases, a couple that are famous as well, because this is a notable case, right? It was everywhere on the news for a minute. So I looked at the Jordan Neely, the Daniel Penny case, and I looked at the Kyle Rittenhouse case. And this is what I came up with, guys. Because we want to be fair and honest, right? And unbiased. And I'm sure that's what this guy wants to be right here, who had a whole lot to say about the $538,000 Carmelo's family raised. So here's what we got, folks. The legal defense fundraising. As you can see, in terms of fundraising success, Daniel Penny, that's the New York City subway case, he raised $3 million. $3 million, okay? He was acquitted in 2024. He used Give, Send, Go, the #2 largest campaign ever. And at one point, he was raising a whopping $1,000 per minute. Then we have Kyle Rittenhouse, the Kenosha shooting. Guy who traveled over state lines with his AR-15 to go to a protest to police it. Yeah, he raised $2 million. He was acquitted in 2021. What did he do with that money? Well, it funded practice jury trials. Yeah, it was enough money for him to do mock jury trials, which helped him prepare an adequate defense. He was also able to hire OJ's jury consultant. And he's also still fundraising for civil suits so he can sue others. Kyle Rittenhouse is raising right now, this day. To this day, he is still fundraising. And number 3, that everyone has a problem with, is Carmelo Anthony. Now, we know why they got a problem with him. Texas track meet. He's raised $538,000. He's awaiting trial, indicted for murder. He filed for indigent status despite the fundraising. And the family's now seeking $1.4 million total. But as you can see, there are definite differences here. Very big differences in the amount of money that's been raised, aren't there? I'm wondering how upset were these people about the fundraising of Daniel Penny? Just wondering. I mean, $3 million is a whole lot of money to raise for killing an unarmed man on a subway train. Oh, that's right. He was scary. The 120-pound homeless man with no weapon was scary. He scared everybody on the train. They didn't know what he was going to do. I guess we'll never find out because he's dead. Good thing Daniel Penny was there to stop him from doing whatever he was about to do to all those people on that train with a hand with some skin on it. Then we got Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse unalived a couple people that night. Didn't he? Shot a number of people. Killed one. I don't know people. I don't know. But he raised $2 million and still raising money right now. I guess they would be upset about him because he didn't even have to be there. You know, he wasn't at a track meet. He wasn't on his way home. He went to a place to engage with his gun at a place, and he did engage with people with a gun at this place. He took a gun with him, right? That he wasn't supposed to have. He took a gun with him to another state to be a fake police officer or security guard or something. I don't know what it was. But anyway, the point is, I didn't see the same. I don't see the same type of backlash from the public, the people that are upset about Carmelo Anthony. And then we have Carmelo Anthony, who weighs literally, what was it, a third or a fourth or a fifth of what these guys raised, and everybody's calling his family grifters. Here's the kicker. Anthony's family raised over $500,000, but just filed paperwork claiming they're financially destitute and need a taxpayer-funded public defender. The timeline is suspicious. The family confirms access to $350,000 from donations. June, Anthony files indigent paperwork claiming poverty. Same day, the family updates GoFundMe goal to $1.4 million. It sounds suspicious, and I get that it does, until you realize, guess what? In America, you got to raise as much money as possible if you're going to have a chance at all. Yeah. And I'm also not so sure his parents can hold jobs at the moment. Yeah, I think it might be a little unsafe for them to go out into the world and go to work. They've been getting a lot of death threats. So what does all this mean? Fundraising success patterns. White defendants raised $2 to $3 million. That's how they won their cases. Don't be goofy and pretend. Well, you can be goofy, but please, don't buy into this notion that Daniel Penny or Kyle Rittenhouse would have been free if they didn't have the best representation. They had the best representation, literally, that money could buy. That's what they had. We get people every day who get railroaded, accept plea bargains, all types of charges, whatever, because they don't have the money. Carmelo Anthony's only shot. Him and his family is to raise as much money as possible to be given an opportunity to defend themselves. This is the system that we're in. The black defendant, he raised $538,000, and then they claim they're indigent. Well, if you compare those numbers to each other, you might consider maybe they are. I mean, what's he supposed to do? Try to go to trial with a couple $100,000? Daniel Penny didn't go to trial with a couple $100,000. What's he supposed to do? But see, here's the thing. Here's the truth, man. These people don't want, they want him convicted. They think he's guilty. They want him convicted. So they don't give a shit about him getting a fair trial. They don't think he should be as equipped as Daniel Penny. They feel that Daniel Penny should have walked away a free man without a trial. He shouldn't even need no fundraiser. Hell, Trump invited him to the football game with him. Right? I wonder if Carmelo Anthony is acquitted. found not guilty. Yeah. If Donald Trump would invite him to the football game and sit in the skybox. What's similar about them? All of them face similar charges, and all of them were banned from GoFundMe. Penny and Rittenhouse endorsed by major Republican candidates, politicians. Anthony, he has got no comparable mainstream backing. Yeah, matter of fact, you don't hear many liberals or many progressives even talk about this story. One of the reasons why I got out of that circle, you know? Yeah, if I'm wrong, let me know, man. Who have you heard really talk about this issue in liberal progressive world? I haven't really heard it, man. Once again, we have politicians that got behind Rittenhouse. Marjorie Green was talking about it. Daniel Penny had even Donald Trump talking about it. Who have you heard? Have you heard Zoran talk about Carmelo Anthony? I don't know. I don't think he did, Johnson. High funding equal acquittals. Penny, Rittenhouse. Lower funding, pending trial, claiming indigence. Anthony. Is it fair? Did it, based on what it looks like, raise a lot of money will help you determine if you're going to have a successful case? Do you think that's fair? I think that's really the culprit here, man. At the end of the day, money should not be the deciding factor. But it is. It is. Hell, it's the deciding factor for people with far less charges than Carmelo Anthony, Daniel Penny, or Kyle Rittenhouse. That's truly what should be on trial here. The fact that you need a bunch of money to run a case in order to have the best representation to even have an opportunity to present your case and to have a shot at getting an acquittal. Maybe we should ask, should someone who raised $500,000 even be allowed to qualify for indigent defense? That's the question. We could ask that question. I think it so rarely comes up where somebody can raise that type of money that this would be a unique question, because I think most people that claim indigent, they don't have ghosts and goals with any sizable amount of money in them. But once again, this is nothing compared to the amount of money that Kyle Rittenhouse and Daniel Penny had. So my thing is this: if you got a problem with it, let's see what happens if he still is indigent defense holds true once he raises $3 million or $2 million like Rittenhouse. Then, only then can you make the claims. You can't make the claims at $500,000. Maybe if Kyle Rittenhouse was only sitting at $500,000, or if Daniel Penny was sitting at $500,000, maybe they would have tried to be indigent too. But see, we don't know because they didn't have to deal with that. Because they got the complexion for the collection and the protection. So what does this say about equal justice under the law? It means what it's always meant. If you got some money, you got a chance. If you ain't got no money, you're going to get a bad song and dance. It's a crapshoot either way, but particularly those who don't have money, typically those are the ones that crap out. I will add this. I don't like Carmelo Anthony's defense team. I mean, I don't like that guy, whoever he is, with the sordid past. It's horrible. The Action Network or whatever this is, I don't know what it is. New Age something, New Age. This is horrible. I've been on the record saying, get away from that guy. No. You don't need to be near this guy. I've been on the record saying that. I stand by it. We don't need anybody with a questionable background being tied to Carmelo Anthony. This guy's future is on the line. It don't look good. It just does not look good. But I cannot let that mean I'm going to throw this young man under the bus I'm going to wait till the evidence comes out. I'm going to see what it shows. I don't think the only cell phone footage or video footage is going to come from a CCTV camera with no zoom from across a football field. There's got to be some footage. In the last I heard, there was some 70 plus cell phones that were confiscated by people that were at that event. 70. There is good footage that's going to come out. I believe there's going to be better footage that will come out at some point that will give us a better view of what happened. But this CCTV footage just ain't it. To my TikTok people that got to make a living doing this, I get it. You have no ethics. A dollar is a dollar is a dollar. And to that brother throwing black people under the bus like he feeding pigeons breadcrumbs at the park on a Sunday afternoon, you pathetic, sir. If you can defend Daniel Penny and you can defend Kyle Rittenhouse, in my opinion, you have no choice but defend Carmelo Anthony. It's people like you that are very suspect. Now, if you defended neither one or neither of the three, then I really have no problems with you. At least you are consistent. But I will not aid in railroading a young black kid. I wish this didn't happen. I'm not saying he's innocent or guilty. What I'm saying is I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until I get some actual information, some evidence that will lead me otherwise. How you could jump to the conclusion that there is nothing, that there was nothing, is suspect. I'm on the side of right because he is considered innocent until proven guilty. How can he be proven guilty when you haven't seen any evidence? What are you drawing your conclusions on guilt on without evidence? We know what you're judging it on. Bias. What else could it be? You haven't had any evidence presented to you. How could you possibly draw a conclusion based on evidence if you ain't seen any evidence? The only thing you see is he black. Because you ain't seen any evidence. And if that's not the issue, then you should be saying you don't know, like everybody else who respects the process. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I appreciate y'all being here tonight. That was going out as a separate clip. Hope that made sense. Let me know what you think. But my question stands, fam. What's it say about our justice system? I feel without raising a lot of money, this young man doesn't have a chance. Without raising a whole lot of money, I think Daniel Penny would have went to jail. Same thing for Kyle Rittenhouse. But differently for them, particularly Daniel Penny, he killed that unarmed man because he was loud on the train. I think he got away with murder, and I'm saying it on that. I don't care what he says. That's what I think. That's my opinion. That's what I believe. All right, folks. Let's go to comment section, man, with the people in his house. My people, Tim Black's Wolfpack. Don't forget, become a member of the VIP. Tim Black Wolfpack, man. Go to jointimblack.com. Do it now. $5 a month gets you in. We want solutions, that symbolism. We need problem solving, not propaganda. Right here. Katrina Prada says Daniel got away with murder. That's how I see it. All right, folks. I don't know, man. I'm glad the comment section is going back to the way it used to be, where you could see each other. So I hope it's a better experience. But, it wasn't anything I did, man. It just did it on its own. It went wrong, and it corrected itself. Yep. These people. Oh man, I don't know what this got to do with Epstein, man. But I tell you, there'll be some conversations going on in the comment section, man. It's crazy how we got from this to Epstein. I don't know, but I'm sure if I was in that conversation, I get it. Wow. No. It's not fair, says Catherine. Where's the Latinos and Democrats? They're at home, Johnson. I guess they didn't get the George Floyd memo to be outraged. Yo, if the Democratic Party don't raise a ruckus, neither does the liberals. All right, man, I'm done. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all. Remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. That's your cornbread. Keep your cornbread. Stop playing with these people. Tell them to stop playing with you. All right. That's it. I'm done. Remember, we'll be back. We'll be back Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. We're off on Tuesdays. We'll be back Wednesday with another live stream, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. Wow. Shout out to the squad. Shout out to the Tim Black Wolfpack, man. Thanks for keeping the lights on. Thanks for supporting this content. I don't know what's going on with you too, man. But only feelings were hurt during the reporting of this broadcast. I'm gone. And where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Oh, there they go. They better be asleep.